because they recognize that the mutation natural selection mechanism has limited creative power, quite limited creative power. I attended a conference in 2016, now 10 years ago, at the Royal Society in London, that was convened by a group of biologists and evolutionary biologists who have been calling for a new theory of evolution precisely because they realize that the mechanism of mutation and selection has such limited power, that it does a nice job of explaining small-scale variation and adaptation, all the classic examples that we learn about in the biology textbooks, the same ones that are repeated over and over again. There's a fairly limited number of these, but the peppered moths that change coloration from dark to light and dark again, or maybe it's the other way around, the Galapagos finches with the beaks that get a little bigger, a little smaller, and change shape in response to varying food supplies and weather patterns, antibiotic resistance, and so forth. Natural selection does a nice job of explaining that small-scale variation, but it doesn't do a good job of explaining the origin of what biologists call morphological innovation, the origin of major new body plans or new form, new organs, new tissues, but especially new body plans in the history of life. That we find again and again in the fossil record. That kind of morphological innovation occurs very abruptly, and the mechanism of natural selection does not explain that well. Runs out of capability very quickly. So we can talk more about why that's the case, but the distinction between just the fact of a mechanism that does something and the claim that it can do everything is often overlooked.